Hi everyone and welcome back to Liz Sews. I have another spotlight video for you today on another Bra Builders kit for January featuring this really beautiful white lace. Obviously lace are the things that I love making most often, so I was really excited about this kit. First off, let's just take a look at the fabrics since that's sort of the boring part of it. So we have this kit comes with frost or white fabrics, and you have the option of choosing whether you want something that's more opaque or something that's more sheer. So the sheer option would be sheer cup lining. This is my personal preference for lining bras. It's a very lightweight, breathable material, very similar to the lace itself, and it lets you have a very sheer ending look to the bra. But not everybody is into sheer bras as I am. So if you like a little bit more opacity, then I would say go ahead and go for the Micro Duoplex here. So Micro Duoplex, you can see, is just this white fabric. It definitely has a lot of strength and stability. Great for larger bust sizes. You might not even need to line it depending on how big you are, because it has a lot of support to it. It is a little bit trickier to sew with, and so when I am sewing with Micro Duoplex, I always use a higher quality thread, something like the Superior Sew Fine thread. Those work really great. They slide through the fabric pretty easily. And then depending on your machine, you might need to play around with your needles as well. So what I have found works best with my machine is these Schmetz Microtex needles in the size 80-12. These are also available for Bra Builders as well as the Sew Fine thread. So if you're new to sewing with Micro Duoplex, I'd say definitely check these out as well because they make it a whole lot easier to sew, trust me. So we have sheer cup lining or Micro Duoplex. You have the choice of one of these depending on what you pick for your kit. And then of course you're going to have some backband material, some power net. Right here I have some medium weight power net. You have the option of choosing medium or heavyweight depending on your size and preferences. So all of these are just in frost or white. And then when it comes to the findings, automatically the notions that come in the kit are going to be your 3/8 of an inch picot elastic, your 5/8 of an inch picot elastic, your twill tape, your underwire channeling, and a hook and eye. Now you have the options when it comes to the strapping. I think as a default it comes with just like 6 inches of strapping elastic, so that's if you're planning on doing a fabric strap and you don't need elastic straps. I always opt to go for the option that includes extra strapping elastic, so that's 1.5 yards, which should be more than enough for anyone to make 2 sets of straps as well as the corresponding rings and sliders. And when you're choosing your extra strap elastic, you can get it in either in 1/2 inch or I think 5/8 of an inch. I always choose 1/2 inch because that's just my preference. So that is all of the white things. Let's take a look at the lace itself because obviously that is the star of the show. So it is a embroidered tulle. It's non-stretch, so not particularly great if you're wanting to make something like a bralette out of it because it definitely doesn't have any stretch to it. And then Sue sends you versions in both mirrored images of itself. So there is a right and left version of this lace, which allows you to get sort of that mirror image across the cup. I always really appreciate it when embroidered lace comes in mirror images because it allows you to get a much more professional finish to your item. Being able to mirror your lace makes a huge amount of difference. So this lace, it did take me a little bit of time to like sort of look at it and decide which was the right side and the wrong side. So I mean, it looks really pretty from both sides. So just, you know, when you're working with it, take that extra time, maybe put a little post-it note on there so you can tell which is up, which is down, and mirror your lace and you'll get a really nice result. So the lace itself is almost entirely white, but we do have this really nice pale sort of like pistachio spring green colors in these flowers, both here and here. So all of the little flower motifs are this really light green. It's not looking like it's picking up on camera, but I can tell in person it's very subtle, very ethereal and light and airy looking. So let's take a look at the bra that I've gone ahead and made with this kit. So the bra that I've chosen to make is using the Annie and Myra Grace pattern. This is a pattern I purchased last month, I'm going to say, and I've been really enjoying it. I've been using it in a lot of locations. So it's the Grace cups, and then I've just extended it down to be a long line bra. I do have a video on my channel talking about that methodology, and I can post it up in the iCards above of how I just take a well-fitting pattern and extend it down to make it a long line bra. So this is a lot more full coverage than a lot of the bras that I make normally, but I think it's okay that it's full coverage because it's also, you know, quite sheer. So it's not really covering a whole lot up. And the reason I kind of wanted to do this one is because I wanted to make sure that I got the lace in all of its glory up here, and most of my cut patterns are quite short, so I wouldn't have been able to get the full effect of the lace. So that's why I wanted to go with this pattern. So I have tried to pattern match up along the scallop edge here. It was not wildly successful, but I do like how that looks. And of course I've mirrored in the front here, and I love how it sort of looks like a butterfly emanating out from the wire line. I think that's really pretty. And then I've added a seam line down the center front here, which will allow me to mirror both sides of the bridge as well. So I tried to pattern match in that center little flower, and then that way it looked very symmetrical from side to side. I am a huge fan of symmetry when it comes to bras. That's just something that I find particularly pleasing. But if you like asymmetrical bras, then by all means go ahead and make it asymmetrical. For the back band of this, of course, I extended it down to turn it into the long line version, and I've still just used the same power net and sheer cup lining that came in the kit. And then I've used, I think this is a 7 high hook and eye. Bra Builders does sell these as well. She sells them by the row, so you just select how many rows you want. You do have to finish the top and bottom edge of this with a satin stitch or zigzag stitch. That's the only sort of downside to using these guys, but you do give you a lot more range of possibilities in terms of length on your hook and eyes. So not much to see on the inside because it looks pretty much like the outside. Like I said, I have sheer cup lining done in the frame as well as the cups. And then on the bottom band here, I have done this technique, which I've shown. I think I'll link it up here as well in the iCards, which allows you to turn over your foldable elastic in the back to get that nice picot edge, but then in the front, you still get to keep the edge of your lace sticking down past your elastic. I think that's always a nice effect. I don't love how it looks with the sheer and then having this harsh line across the bottom. I think if I had to do this over again, I might put in some twill tape down here and down the center front, so you have more of that like sort of look of a skeleton structure, and that might make this look a little bit less jarring. Obviously, of course, you could use micro duoplex with this if you wanted something that was a little bit more opaque. So I hope this gave you some ideas of how to use this kit, and I will see everyone next time. Take care.